Hello friends, we have started with the nonlinear data structure and within the nonlinear data structures we are learning about the tree data structure. And in a tree data structures we have seen the definition of a tree, binary a search tree, and now we are start the discussion for the a tree a traversal. Now as you know what is meant by a traversal of a tree is a process of visiting every node of a tree exactly once. And as we have seen, we are doing it by using the like a depth first search. And within that ones, we have find out that there are three combinations are there: the pre-order traversal, in-order traversal, and the post-order traversal. In last sessions, we have talked about the pre-order traversal. What will happen in pre-order traversal? First, we are visiting the root, and then we are visiting the left subtree, and then we are visiting the right subtree. So when we are visiting the left subtree and right subtree, we are also applying the pre-order traversal. So now in today's session, we are going to visit or travels the tree by using the in-order traversal. Just as previously mentioned, the in-order traversal, if you are going to say for the expression tree, it is similar to that of a infix expression. The root will be in the middle of the left and right. So now if I am going to see for this tree, whatever the contents of the left subtree will become first, then the root comes, and then whatever the contents of the right subtree will comes later on. Means at a middle A on left hand side the contents from the left subtree, and from right hand side the contents from a right subtree. Okay, so we are going to apply now the same thing that we are going to apply for here. We want to apply the three cases that we want to apply. What is the first case? That we want to in order traversal. So for this one, from where we are going to start, we are going to start, this is the output that we are having. We are going to start with A. So the first step that we are going to apply, what the first step says that travels the left subtree. So we come to the left subtree. What is the root of the left subtree? The root of the left subtree is B. So here also what we want to do, we want to apply these three steps are there. These three steps are we are going to apply recursively. So here also we are applying the visit the root, sorry, travels the left subtree in order. So we have finished one. So when you have finished these ones, we again have the travels the left subtree of B. So what is the left subtree of B? Left subtree of B contains a D. So unless and until all these left subtrees are not going to be travels, we are not go for the root node, that is the A in this case, and then right subtree. So now we come to the D. So for D travels the left subtree. What you find out, left subtree is empty here. As the left subtree is empty, we come to the second step. What is the second step? Says that visit the root. When we are visiting the root, what we are doing, we are printing the values. So here we are printing the values. This is what? This is the output of here a traversal. So right now D is there. Then we want to traverse the right subtree. We go for right, but right subtree is empty. That's why this third step is also completed. Now all these three steps are completed for the node D. So what we want to do, we want to backtrack it. Go to the previous node. Where we can find out the previous node, we will get the previous node on the stack. So this node are putting where? These nodes are going to put onto the stack. So we go to the previous node. We have already applied the first step on previous node. That is B. So what is the second step? Visit the root. So we are applying the second step. What the second step says that visit the root means we are just processing it, and in this case we are just printing the value of that node. And then we want to apply the third step. What the third step says that go to the its right subtree, but right subtree is empty. So as right subtree is empty, we backtrack it. So from B we backtrack it to the A. So where we can get A, we can get A on the its a stack. So all these ones there we are in on a stack. So what we have here now, we go to the step number 2. What now step number 2 said? Visit the root. So we are visiting the root. So here A is there. Then what it says that we go to the right subtree. So now when you go to the right subtree, what we have the node C is there, which is at the root of the right subtree. So we want to go for again the three steps that we are going to apply for here. So first step says that left subtree, empty. Second step says that visit the root. So when you are visiting the roots, we are printing this value, and then it says go to the right subtree. Go to the right subtree, it is empty, and that's what is going to be happen. For this tree, what we are getting the pre-order traversal that we are getting as dbac. If you remember, by in order traversal, what the answer for the in order traversal? Sorry, this is for in order. This is for in order. What is your pre-order traversal is there? Just as we have finding for the same tree, the pre-order traversal that we have for the same tree is A, B, D, a C. There we have the root at the beginning. So the root at the beginning, root of that tree at the beginning. So if you are going to see that, first we are having the left subtree. In the left subtree, root is at the beginning. In the right subtree also, root is at the beginning. So by this way, we are able to traverse the tree by using a in order traversal. Okay, take the next example. Now we are going to traverse this binary tree by using a in order or a traversal. So we have these three steps are there. So first we are going to start for A. So this is your output that we are getting here. So first we are going to start with A. So we want to apply the three steps for A. First step says that go to the left subtree. Means if all these things that we want to traverse it, then we can get the A, and then we can get for the right subtree. So the A, the first step that we have applied it. So it says that go to the left subtree. So left subtree also we want to traverse in the same manner as we are traversing the original tree. So there also, so we are having the first step. What the first step says that go to its left subtree. So the left subtree will contains a D. Now it says that go to its left subtree. So for this left subtree, we will find out this left subtree is empty. That's why we come to the step number 2. And what the step number 2 says that prints the value of a node. So the D will be going to be printed, and then it goes for the right subtree. Right subtree is not empty. So the right subtree is a Z1. Start with its root is Z1. So the first step, what the first step says that travel the left subtree. His left subtree is empty. Come to the second step. What the second step says that print the value of the root. So here we are getting the value as a Z. And then go for the right subtree. Right subtree is also empty. So we now backtrack it. When you backtrack it, we find that all the three steps that we have completed for the node D. So we backtrack it. So for B, we have already completed the left step of a B. So now we can go for the second step for B. And what the second step for B says that this tree is sorry. What the second step says that the visit the root. So the B will be printed here. Then we can go for the third one, travel the right subtree. But right subtree is empty. That's why we backtrack it and come to the A. So the second step for A says that visit the root. So here we can find out that whatever thing which is in the left subtree will be the left of the A, and whatever the thing that is in the right subtree will be the right of A. So now we are visiting the root, and now it says that go to the step number 3. And what the step number 3 is that says that travel the right subtree in order. So we comes for this right subtree. Again with this right subtree, we have the left subtree and right subtree. It is not like that one. If it is the right subtree means all the subtrees are right one. So now the node is C. So for C, we are applying the step number 1. What the step number 1 says that travels the left subtree. So the left subtree is E. First step says that again travels it left subtree. So we come for H. So H again says that travels the left subtree, but the left subtree is empty. Come to the step number 2. Step number 2 says that print it. So we have printed this value H. Then come to the right subtree. Now we come to know that right subtree is empty. Backtrack it. Where to backtrack? To the previous node E. So for previous node E, we have applied the step number 1. Now we want to go to the step number 2. What the step number 2 says that print the value of that node. Step number 2 says that print the value of that node. Now go for the third step. What is the third step? visit the right subtree. For visiting a right subtree, we are having now the node as I. So for this node I, again we want to apply the all these three steps. First step, left subtree. Left subtree is empty. Second step says that print the value that we are going to print. Third step says that go to the right subtree. Right subtree is empty. We have visited this from the E1, that's why we can backtrack to E. We have finished all the three steps of E, that's why we have backtrack to C. We have finished the step number 1, that is travels the left subtree. Now we want to visit the root node, that is the C here. So we are visiting the C, and then we go for the right subtree. So for right subtree, we are now having the F, and for F also we want to apply the all the three steps. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. So F is there. And now we backtrack it. Where to backtrack it? We backtrack it to the C. Why we backtrack it to C? Because we come to the F from a C1. Okay, so that is the traversing a right subtree. So here we can find out that the whatever the contents of a left subtree of a root will be the left hand side of the root node, and whatever thing that is comes on the right hand side of the right subtree will be as the right hand side of the node A. Okay, so let us move to the next traversal, that is the post order traversal. What we are doing in a post order traversal, we can traverse the left subtree first, similar to that of a in-order traversal. And now, in place of visiting the root, first we have finishes with the right subtree, and at the end we are visiting the root. Okay, so take the same example here. Now, as we are going to start with A, so the first step says that travels the left subtree. So we can travel the left subtree. Unless and until we are not finishing with this left subtree, we cannot go for the right subtree. So we are traversing the left subtree. So for left subtree, root is B. So the first step that we have finished. So again, we want to apply the all these three steps for B. So first step says that travel the left subtree. For the left subtree for B, it's D is there. So left subtree is D. Again, we want to traverse its left subtree. We will find out that its left subtree is empty. So the first step is finished. Then we can come to the second step. What second step that traverse the right subtree. So when you are traversing the right subtree, what we have? We have the G is there. And for G, what it says that again, we won't apply all the three steps for G. So the first step, left subtree, but its left subtree is empty. That's why I go for the second step. Second step says that visit the right subtree or traverse the right subtree. Its right subtree is also empty. It doesn't have any child in a as a right child. So that's why we say it is an empty one. And what is the third step says that? Third step says that we are visiting the root. So the G we are going to print here. Then we backtrack to the D. So for D, we have finished step number 1 and 2. What is the third step is there? The third step is we want to print the value. So for third step, we are printing the value, and that value is a D1. Now we backtrack it to the B. We have finished the first one. So we can go for the second one, travel the right subtree, but the right subtree is empty. That's why we can go to the step number 3, visiting the root node. So that is the B here. And now all these three steps is finished. We can go to the E. And so here we are having to, now we have finished it with left subtree. Now we want to apply the travel the right subtree of E. So when you are traversing the right subtree of E, from here, what is going to happen now? This is finishing. This is all we have pushed onto the stack, and now we have removed it from the stack. So now from here, where it comes to the C. So for C, we are applying the first step. What the first step says that traverse the left subtree in post order. So its left is E. So again for E, we want to apply the three steps for traversal. It says that travel the left subtree. So the E's left is H. His left is H. So for H, travel the left subtree in post order manner. Its left subtree is empty. That's why I apply the step number 2. What the step number 2 says that travel the right subtree. So its right subtree is also empty, and now we are applying the step number 3. And what the step number 3 says, that visit the root. So the H is there. Now backtrack it to the E. So for E, we have finished the first step, that is the traversing the left subtree of E. Now we want to traverse the right subtree of E. And what is the right subtree of E? The right subtree of E is I. So from where we come to the I, from E we come to the I. So for I, we want to apply the all these three steps. First step says that left subtree is empty. Second step, we find out that right is also empty. That's why we are applying the step number 3. So when you apply the step number 3, we are printing the value of a node, that is I. And now we backtrack to the E. And what we find, we have finishes now the step number 1 and 2. So step number 3 says that we want to print the value. So this value that we have printed 8. And now we have finishes the traversing of a left subtree of a C. That's why from E we comes to here. We have finished step number 1. Now we can go for the step number 2. And step number 2 says that traverse the right subtree of what? The C. So there we come here, and what we have here, right subtree will be starting with node F. And for here we want to apply the all the three steps. Step number 1 is empty, 2 is empty, 3 says that okay, F is there. And now we backtrack it from what? From F back to the C. So for C, we have finished step number 1, and we have finishing now step number 3 also. And what the step number 3 says, that visit the root. So that root that we have visited. And now from C, we can backtrack it to the A. And what is the third step for A? At the visiting the root. So that is the post-order traversal of a given a binary a tree. So here we are going to find out that the root node will be at the end. So what we can conclude here, that for the pre-order traversal, the root node is at the beginning one. Root node is at the beginning one. Whereas for post-order traversal, root node is at the end. Whereas for in-order traversal, the root node is in the middle. Root node is in the middle, not exactly middle, but it is in the middle one.